Alright, I got a question on one of my videos with some basic chord changes about kind of next steps from there, and it was from Blast from yesterday, and they wanted to know what other chord changes to do, and I'll do some lessons on that. But first, I think it's important for me, as when I was a beginner, I didn't really know what to focus on, and I actually was around a lot of more advanced musicians, and they would just be playing all these crazy chords, and I didn't know what the heck they were doing. I mean, how do you think about all this stuff? How do you control it? And like really all I'm playing are little pieces of chords. I'm playing pieces of major chords, pieces of minor chords, pieces of dominant 7 chords, and pieces of sus chords. But in order to understand all that stuff, you first need to really know like quite a few open chords. So the question made me think about what chords I would recommend learning. And really I came up just thinking about my direct experience and what I actually use and think about the most. There's really only 30 chords you should know. So I'm just going to go through all of these chords. And 30 might sound like a lot, but really it's not. And a lot of people already know quite a few of these. So I'm first going to do the major chords I would learn. So the first major chord I would learn is C major. So you should definitely know C major. And I'll put some tabs up for this. C major. So it's the next one you should know is A major. You should know G major. And learn it like this. Don't learn it like this. Definitely don't learn it like this. Start out learning it like this with your pinky. No first finger. You need to know E major. D major. F major. Now for F, don't learn it like this to start. I actually don't play F like this very much, this full bar chord. I tend to cheat and go like this. Or if I have an electric guitar or acoustic, I'll put my thumb here. So the way that you do this F chord, I'm going to go through this. You start with the C chord, move your middle finger up, put your pinky down, mute this with your thumb, mute this with the top of this first finger. So you end up with 3, 3, 2, 1. I would learn F like that. So it's nice and comfortable. Or you can do the full bar chord, which is 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1. I use F like this much more often. Then you need to know B major. This is the first bar chord, but this is the 5 chord in the key of E, which basically means it's important when you're playing in the key of E, which is an important key. So B major. So it's 2, 4, 4, 4, 2. It's a bar chord. So if that's too hard for you, then just get a teacher or a friend or someone who can walk you through bar chords. Because sometimes you need someone in person to kind of like show you exactly all the technique. It's kind of hard to see it just through a video. So those are the major chords. They were C, A, G, E, D, F, B. We'll play one more time. C, A, G, E, D, F, B major. Alright, and then for the minor chords, you want to do A minor, E minor, D minor, B minor. You want to learn the bar chord for this. There's a way to cheat where you do it like this. That's okay if you're just trying to get through a song, but really you need to learn it like this. So 2, 4, 4, 3, 2. F sharp minor. And C sharp minor. So one more time, it's A minor, E minor, D minor, B minor, F sharp minor, C sharp minor. Those are all the minor chords I've learned. Next are the dominant 7 chords, or you can call them just 7 chords, or the bluesy sounding ones. So you want to learn C7. Basically a C chord, but you add your pinky on the 3rd fret on the G string. You learn A7, which is basically A major, but you lift up this finger. But most people finger it like this instead. You learn G7, which you can start with this G, then put your first finger up on the first fret and lift this pinky up. So that's G7. You need E7, which is basically E major, but you lift this finger up. You can make it a little stronger sounding by adding your pinky right here, which is what I tend to do more often, where I toggle it. So that's E7. Then you need D7, which is like D major but flipped around. So you got to change all your fingers. You can think of it as a triangle goes to the left. Then for B7, take this exact shape, this D7, and move it down so that the triangle's right here on 2, 1, 2. Start on the A string. Then you got to add your pinky on the second fret up high. So all the 7 chords were C7, A7, G7, E7, D7, B7. Oops, sorry. Then there's some major 7 chords I would learn. I would learn C major 7. You take C major, lift this finger up. These are kind of softer sounding chords. I would learn D major 7. This is a nice one. You start with D major, but then you just bar those 3 notes. So it's. Then I would learn A major 7. You start with A major, but you move the note that was in the middle on the G string on 2nd fret to the 1st fret. So it ends up, it looks like D7, but it's right here. So again, the major 7 chords were C major 7, D major 7, A major 7. Then there's a few minor 7 chords I learned. A minor 7 is start with A minor and lift your 3rd finger up. E minor 7, you start with E minor, you lift this finger up, your 3rd finger. But that's pretty weak in the sense you can't really hear the difference between E minor and E minor 7. So most people, a lot of people will add D. They'll add this note right here. So in order to do that, you start with E minor, lift that finger off the D string, and put your pinky on the 3rd fret on the B string. Or you can refinger it like this. You hit all the strings. So again, there's only 2 minor 7 chords. A minor 7 that I would recommend learning, and E minor 7. So either this, or... Then there's a couple of sus chords. So D sus2. It's like a D major chord, but you lift your middle finger up. A sus2. It's like A major, but you lift your pinky up. C sus2. The way I would do it is just lift your middle finger up. Start with C. Or some people wouldn't consider this a sus chord, but you could add your pinky right here. Some people call it a 9 chord, but I would learn this one too. You add your pinky right here. Okay, so the sus2 chords are D sus2, A sus2, and C sus2. Or then we need sus4 chords. I would do D sus4, which you start with D. You add your pinky right there on the 3rd fret. A sus4, start with A major. Do it like this actually. This is not a good way to do it. And then slide your pinky over 1 fret. This is a little awkward, but this is how people tend to do it. A major, A sus4, pinky slides from 2 to 3 on the B string. C sus4, you start with C, and then add your pinky on the 3rd fret on the D string. So there's 30 chords that if you learn all those, you'll be set. When people are playing, you're learning stuff. Aside from learning bar chords and mastering those, if you know these 30 chords, you'll have enough of a base to really start to understand what's going on. So I'll go through all of them one more time. C major, A major, G major, E major, D major, F major, B major. Then the minor chords, A minor, E E minor, D minor, B minor, F sharp minor, C sharp minor. The dominant 7 chords were C7, A7, G7, E7, D7, E7. The major 7 chords, C major 7, D major 7, A major 7. The minor 7 chords, A minor 7, E minor 7. You could do it like, or like this. Sus2 chords, D sus2, A sus2, C sus2, or D, and then the sus4, D sus4, A sus4, C sus4. So after that, I would really focus on bar chords. And then if you have a teacher, or I can put some lessons up, but again, it's good to have a teacher to show you a lot of this stuff. You want to master your triads, which are pieces, they're 3-note chords. And really these are the most powerful things after you have a foundation with all these open chords, is learning your triads. So like here would be C major, C major, C major. Or you can learn them down here. You can learn them on any 3 strings. C major, C major, C major. You can do them lower. You could do C major, like, these are a little trickier. You could do it like this. Oops. You could do it. I tend not to think in triads when I'm down lower. I think in a different way. But if I ask your teacher to teach you triads, and then after that, it's just getting fancier. It's like combining shapes like G major. So what I did is just took G major in different spots, and then you end up also like kind of mixing different types of chords together. So you could do like G with like an E minor. So it's like, I'm kind of thinking of 2 chords at the same time, like G, E minor I'm kind of thinking about. Maybe I go up to G for a second, maybe to B minor because it's close to G. So what happens is your mind just starts combining all of your knowledge, and then that's how people just play, and it's not that mysterious once you get to that level, but it all starts with mastering these open chords, mastering your bar chords, mastering your triads, and then also like really knowing your major scale and minor scale, maybe a few other fancier scales, or pentatonics, and then maybe a few fancier scales if you're going to be into jazz, or if you're into rock or blues, you might learn like the Mixolydian scale. There's just a few, but I didn't find scales as helpful as just learning lots of chords. Some people solo a lot in like jazz, they know tons of scales and they use them, but by the time you know all the things I suggested, you kind of decide what's for you and what's not for you. But it's also really good to have a teacher in person to explain a lot of things to you. Also to learn songs from the bands that you really like and try to figure out what they're using. And if the band that you're into is just using power chords and like a few little riffs, then maybe you don't need to know that much. But if they're playing like really complex like chords all the time, you probably need to get into something like John Mayer. Some people are into him. He's actually a really advanced musician. Or if you're into like Eric Clapton, you're going to have to get more advanced with blues. But if you're into Green Day or The Offspring or something like that, like All American Rejects, you don't need to know that much. Like the Foo Fighters, for example, they're using some advanced stuff, but you don't need to know like jazz theory or anything. But it helps with bands like the Foo Fighters or Red Hot Chili Peppers to know more than just power chords, like if you're going to do Nirvana or Green Day songs. So anyways, hope that was helpful. There's a lot of knowledge in that, a lot of information in this video, but it's stuff I wish I would have known. So good luck. Bye.